Hello students, I am Shahji Thomre sir from Solapur. Continuing my topic, figures of speech. Figures of speech. In my previous videos, I covered simile, metaphor, then personification and apostrophe. In this video, I am going to cover two more figure of speech. त्यातला पहिला जो figure of speech आहे, that figure of speech is alliteration. या व्हिडिओमध्ये मी alliteration and repetition या figure of speech बद्दल आपल्याशी बोलणार आहे. In this video, I am going to cover two figures of speech. Those are alliteration and repetition. So students, before watching my video, please subscribe my YouTube channel and like and share. जास्तीत जास्त विद्यार्थ्यापर्यंत हा व्हिडिओ पोहोचवा. सबस्क्राइब करा, लाईक करा, शेअर करा. I have explained all the figures of speech in a very easy and simple language in Marathi as well as in English. So don't forget to subscribe and share. Let's start. In Marathi, it is called as Anupras Alankar. Anupras Alankar. Anupras Alankar. In English, it is called alliteration. Now, let us see the definition of alliteration, that is Anupras Alankar. Let us see the definition. याची आपण definition लक्षात घेऊया. Alliteration means what? When a similar sound, when a similar sound or repetition of similar letters, repetition of similar letters or sounds, to produce greater poetic effect or musical effect, or musical effect. When a similar sound or repetition of similar letters or sounds are used to produce poetic effects, musical effects, वाक्यात किंवा त्या चरणात शब्दांच्या आरंभी एकाच अक्षराची पुनरावृत्ती झाल्यामुळे alliteration अलंकार साधला जातो. रिपिटेशन ऑफ लेटर्स और साउंड्स, आपल्याला मराठीमध्ये असं म्हणूया की एकाच अक्षराची पुनरावृत्ती, रिपिटेशन ऑफ साउंड or repetition of similar letters, not words, letters, when it happens in a sentence, in a stanza, that figure of speech is called alliteration. त्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण म्हणतोय अनुप्रास अलंकार. Now see the examples. Examples. Examples of alliteration, figure of speech. Example number 1. My mother makes me study hard. Study hard. This is example. Now why it is alliteration? Let us see. Sound M, 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 M. Side by side words मधील first letter or group of letter or sound or sounds are repeated for greater musical effect, poetic effect. That figure of speech is called as alliteration. So how to explain this? M sound is repeated. M sound is repeated for greater, or more musical effect or poetic effect. That's why this figure of speech is called as, आपण कोणता फिगर ऑफ स्पीच बनायचं? Alliteration. This figure of speech is called as alliteration. जेव्हा सेंटेन्स मधील वर्ड्स मधील फर्स्ट साउंड और ग्रुप ऑफ साउंड रिपीट असेल, that figure of speech is called as alliteration. When a similar sound or repetition of sounds are used for greater poetic effect or musical effect, this is called as alliteration. यालाच सिमिलर असा दुसरा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच आहे, तो तुम्हाला मी सांगतोयच, पण अजून आपण काही एक्झाम्पल आपण याचे पाहूया. लेट अस सी द मोर एक्झाम्पल्स ऑफ alliteration. Example number 2. He hit, sorry, huh? Example number next. He hit his head. He hit his head against the wall. Against the wall. He hit his head against the wall. Here, which sound is repeated? H. H sound is repeated for greater musical effect or poetic effect. That's why this figure of speech is called as alliteration. This figure of speech is called as alliteration. आपण alliteration figure of speech म्हणूया. Similar sound or sounds are repeated, then that figure of speech is called as alliteration. So it is very easy to identify alliteration. One more example आपण पाहूया. Number 3. A teacher told a tale of tiger. A teacher told a tale of a tiger. Now, why this is alliteration? Let us see. Teacher, T, told T, tell, tiger. So T sound is repeated pleasingly. For greater poetic effect, T sound. T sound is repeated. For greater poetic effect or musical effect. That's why the figure of speech is alliteration. So students, I hope that you understood the figure of speech alliteration. Now, याला सिमिलर आपण दुसरा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच बघूया. नेक्स्ट फिगर ऑफ स्पीच रिपीटेशन. रिपीटेशन पुनरावृत्ती अलंकार. रिपीटेशन मीन्स व्हॉट? रिपीटेशन जेव्हा तुम्ही साऊंड किंवा लेटर रिपीट म्हणता किंवा आपण म्हणतो त्या वर्डच्या सुरुवातीचं, that figure of speech is alliteration. But when, let us see the definition of repetition. When the same words, when the same words are repeated, when the same words are repeated, it is called, that figure of speech is called repetition. जेव्हा पूर्ण वर्ड रिपीट असतो, कंप्लीट वर्ड और वर्ड्स, सेम वर्ड जेव्हा रिपीट असतात, जेव्हा साऊंड रिपीट आहे त्याला आपण alliteration म्हणतो. पण इफ कंप्लीट वर्ड इज रिपीटेड, वर्ड्स आर रिपीटेड, तेव्हा शब्दांची पुनरावृत्ती होते, त्याला म्हणायचं रिपीटेशन. alliteration आपण म्हणलं अनुप्रास अलंकार. alliterationला आपण काय म्हणलं? अनुप्रास अलंकार. रिपीटेशनला पुनरावृत्ती अलंकार. त्या ठिकाणी पुनरावृत्ती झाली असते, शब्दांची किंवा चरणांची पुनरावृत्ती झाल्यास रिपीटेशन अलंकार साधला जातो. जेव्हा शब्द रिपीट होतो, वर्ड्स आर रिपीटेड, इट इज रिपीटेशन. एक्झाम्पल्स ऑफ रिपीटेशन. एक्झाम्पल्स of the figure of speech repetition. Very easy, this figure of speech repetition. Home, home, sweet home. Suppose I say example, home, 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 sweet home. Home, home, sweet home. Now, in this sentence, home word is repeated for greater poetic effect, for emphasis, जोर देण्यासाठी, त्याचं महत्व सांगण्यासाठी. Sometimes the poet uses same words, repeat the words again and again. That's why this figure of speech is called as repetition. याला म्हणायचं पुनरावृत्ती अलंकार. That's why home word is repeated for poetic effect. That's why the figure of speech is repetition. So when letters are repeated, the figure of speech is repetition. But only sound is repeated, it is alliteration. Many times, many times. If I say one more example of repetition. Land of our birth, comma, our faith, comma, our pride, our pride, land of our birth, our faith, our pride. So, in this sentence, our word, our word is repeated. That's why our word is repeated pleasingly. Emphasis for greater poetic effect. That's why figure of speech is repetition. So students, alliteration repetition मध्ये तुलना खूप सोपी आहे. साऊंड रिपीट असेल alliteration and complete word repeat असेल repetition. So in this video I have covered alliteration and repetition, these two figures of speech. Don't forget to watch all videos till the end. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe करायला विसरू नका. Definitely I will give an opportunity to you to listen, to watch maximum videos in future. So students, thank you so much for watching.